Alrighty, welcome back. Today we're going to be working on the RTS engine and just adding a job system basically so that we can tell entities to move to a specific place. That's going to be the first one. You can make other things like making collect stuff, but let's keep it simple. So we're going to create a component which will be a job. And we're just going to get that. All it's going to have is a yeah, let's just keep things simple for now, and we'll just have a vec3 in here, or let's do vec2. Target. No initialization. Create constructor. And float y. Target x and y, and it'll be good. Okay, yeah, there we go. And then we'll create a class. JobSystem. Public entity. Yeah. System. Then it's probably complaining that I don't have a update method. Let's borrow this for a bit and just get rid of the internals. And then, oh yeah, template. Job system. Add one right here. System. Don't think I'll have any sort of. Oh yeah, always forget. Don't think I need any particular parameters. It's just going to assign these jobs directly. I am going to make this a receiver though, because I want it to receive. I want it to receive left click events, or right click events, I should say. That's how you do it. Where's the other one? Oh, do I have to say that's public as well? Makes sense. Public. And configure. Was configure taken? Is configure taken anything? Oh, it does. Configure. I'm just gonna copy this. It's the same essentially. Now, okay, so I need to change the. So I remember how it works. Event manager.subscribe. That reminds me. Let's create the new event struct job added. Sorry, I was just thinking about whether or not I should make job a little more complicated, because I do kind of want an idle concept, but I could theoretically just have no job being idle. And so job added literally all it is it's just got a description, or it's just, well, I guess I just need to do and then target XY vec2 target. I am kind of duplicating things. I could theoretically just make this a parent of that. I don't want to explicitly, I don't want to put inheritance when it's not technically inheriting. This could be anything theoretically. So now I can actually subscribe to this. And I don't need those. So now I should be able to write this thing as void receive event. And then I do something with that. Essentially all I can really think of to do is, I mean, there's multiple things I could do with this. I'll just give it a, oops. No, I did not want to save a screenshot. I'll just give it an internal array. Do I want to do stack? Stack might be a good idea. Or queue. Let's do a queue. Let's grab a queue from standard library. So then I don't feel like writing my own queue. Just a D queue. Priority queue probably would be better. Job queue. That's all I need. And it's complaining argument list. Yes. Debating whether I kind of like having the event be separate from component, even though they carry the same data. I mean, yeah, it's just one of those things. I mean, this, like the job added, ultimately I should probably just make this a, yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm thinking we're just gonna make this like field of, and then just, I mean, I don't entirely like doing this, but it does make it so if I make multiple types of jobs, which I likely will, I mean, this will likely should probably be a reference to a job or a pointer. Either way, I mean, I just have to make sure that I can store the entire job and nothing gets like cut off. But yeah, but for now I'll just leave it as by reference. So job queue. Yeah, sure, I'll just keep it as job queue, you know. It's technically slightly different. And then on the received, I just queue dot add or push event. And then I have to loop over all the I'm trying to remember if there's a way to, because I know like the way I've been doing it is basically like es dot each, and then like, so I actually don't need anything really. All I need is, I just need to make sure that it has a I guess this is probably a good place to use dependencies. Where do I register them? I'm trying to think. Dependency basically is it's a link between components. So if a component has a velocity, it should also have a position, sort of thing. Or yeah, I don't know if that's strictly what I need at the moment. I mean, I can add dependency later, but I do need to I am trying to think. Well, essentially, I just need, like, with the current setup, I just need it. I mean, since I'm going to be moving to a target, I guess I'll just specify that I need the position and the velocity. And that would be entity. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, yeah. So I need entity x entity, and then the position and the velocity. Essentially, there are two different states that I need. Well, first things first, I kind of need to loop over all the entities. I need to loop over all the entities with jobs first. Let's do that. Well, actually, I want to do, I'll just duplicate this. Dang it. And then just tack on job right there. And then sorry, I was just thinking, if I make multiple job types, I'm probably gonna have to have a, because you can't, if I remember correctly in C++, you can't tell what type an object is because it's just not saved. So I'm gonna have to manually specify, which is a little annoying, but whatever. So basically, I'm looping through all the entities that have a job, and I'm just seeing if that job is done. So I just need to get the target from the job, and then I want to get the, do I care about the velocity? I actually don't care about the velocity in this case because I don't really care where it's going. Actually, now that I think about it, I do, because I don't need it to keep going. Yeah, I do care about the velocity. So basically you need to get the distance between the position. Position is that that's a vec3. Okay, I'm gonna make target a vec3 too, even though it doesn't need to be. I'm gonna make it a vec3. And then I'm also gonna make these. Oh, it doesn't like that. So I can just tell it to go to the origin if need be. So I just need to get the length. So I needed to get the length if so position dot value minus target dot length is greater than some value. No, it's less than 0.1. I don't know. So if the entity is within 0.1 units of the target, let's put another 0 on there, and also make that an F. Yeah, 0.01. That doesn't look right. Oh well. Then I will remove the job from this entity. So entity dot I forget, remove, and then job. Is that enough? House component. Okay, yeah. Makes sense, yeah. Just moves the job. Yeah, that's theoretically all I really need to do. I'm actually gonna get rid of this. I'm just gonna do job.target. Since binding that unnecessarily. So that will get rid of all the entities that have a job. And I'm trying to think if there is a way, because I'd like to do just not job, but I don't think that works. Yeah, I mean, I didn't think it would work, but it's like, because that's essentially what I want to do. And then, oh, also, I need to velocity dot value dot. Is there like a? No, it's wanting me to do it all manually. Can I set it to a scalar? Equals 0? Is that valid? No, I didn't think so. What about XYZ? Is that valid? Has no member XYZ. Okay, I figured. Let's have to do this a bunch of times. Fortunately. Stop print screen. Dang it. Yeah, I reset the velocity. If that's not the case, then I need to modify the velocity. So I kind of want to change how this works. Oh, I kind of wish I would have given entities speed instead of velocity. But here's what I don't want to set to 0 though. Whatever. I'm just going to. Yeah, I'm using a bunch of magic numbers here, but that's fine. I'll figure it out. I just want to get the. I will get the speed. trying to think. Does this return a new vector? Okay, it does return a new one. Because it's not minus equals, which makes sense. So this should be fine. It shouldn't be modifying anything internally, which would be bad. And then, so I get the speed. And then I need to change the velocity's value equals the, so I guess I need this particular position dot value minus job dot target. Okay, it's just being dumb. So this equals, so now that I have that, I should be able to do that value. No, I have the speed, so all I have to do is do direction dot normalize, normalize direction times speed. This should work. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. So essentially it'll just change direction, like if I click somewhere else. Target added. Do I want to target? Yeah, sure. I'm fine with that. I'll just have, for now I'll just have them, like, one entity deal with the job, because that's kind of what I was wanting to do, but I will have it, like, I should be able to assign a job to multiple entities, because I am doing like the select all thing. But I do like the idea of just, if there is an entity that just isn't doing anything, that will be assigned a job. Yeah. Yeah, but I won't deal with that. I won't deal with the multi-select, even though I didn't bother to make that. Oh well. So the ones that don't, this is the ones that don't necessarily have a job. So if entity dot has component job, then I will just continue. Oh wait, I guess it would be return in this case, because that is the equivalent. I don't know if there's a way to break out of a loop. That's something that, like, with this, what does this look like? Okay, this is, that's, okay, so, how does one break out of a lambda? That's weird. looks like you can only really do this by throwing an exception, which I don't particularly like. I mean, obviously the other way is probably the way I'm going to do it, because it feels like return. Does that what does that correspond to? Okay, so return does work. Yeah, just return works. The other way I could do it is just have it be invert the condition. Just have it not has the component. I'd like to just be able to just loop through the entities that don't have a component, because it seems like a waste. I mean, ultimately, in the grand scheme of things, it's probably the same operation, because it's got to filter it somehow. I guess you could cache it in some way, but whatever. So if it doesn't have a job, I will give it a job. Yes. So yeah. So entity dot, or if I'm going to check first if q dot q dot size is greater than 0. Because no sense looping over all the entities if there's no job to assign. And so basically, also I want to do that in here too. Yeah, I'll do it in this if statement. I was thinking about making another if statement, and I might still do that. I'm going to check the job queue size. It may seem silly to do this. Size is less than or equal to 0. Or, well, actually, I should just break out of this, which is kind of annoying. It makes me kind of want to use the more because they have a regular way of looping through components. Familiar. I mean, I like each way of doing things, but there's just not like a, because like it seems like the only way to break out of a lambda is to throw an exception, which I don't like, because that's just not clean. I'm trying to think. I mean, yeah, that seems to be so unless the loop thing itself actually, I don't think it holds any state. You probably want to be as thin as possible, but yeah, unless you were to pass in some sort of handle that would allow you to break. Yeah, it looks like you have to just throw if you want. That's so annoying. Because that's dumb. And it's not a fault of the libraries. I think it's just the implementation of lambdas. I mean, that's kind of how it works in general. I mean, there's... Alrighty, well, I'm going to... I'll just comment this out for now, just so it's still there. That way I can change my mind later. Component handle position component handle velocity. I like that those are in line with each other. And then I'm gonna do a for entity entity x entity entities gonna be yes dot entities with components, and then velocity. Okay, this is a more traditional way of doing this. So if job queue dot size is equal to 0, then I'm gonna break. If entity dot has component job, I will continue. Other than that, I'm just gonna do just assigning the job. One thing that I do want, I want to know if you can do like a, is there like a entity X component helper? Look at this. Move component, copy component 2. Okay, that doesn't help me. Uncopyable. I just want a way to say I want to include all entities that don't have jobs. I don't know if there currently is a way to do that. When did they change this? This is nice. I like this. Could have sworn that I had to... Okay, so if I control click, it takes me to the actual file. Okay. Control B does the... Or at least on my key bindings. I'm using IntelliJ's key bindings. But yeah. That will bring up that nice little dialog. That was nice. So, okay. So now I can actually assign it a job. So I need to get the position component from the handle. Wait, no. Yeah, no, that's right. It's the other way around. Those two are valid. They both need to be valid, otherwise it can't have a job. Because if it can't move anywhere, I mean, that could theoretically change depending on the like job types. I mean, I'm probably going to keep it simple, so. But yeah. And then I'll just assign it. I'll was this? T. Well, actually, I'll let it. Because I don't really need to modify either of these now that I think about it. Because I just need to give it a job, and on the next tick, it can pursue said job. That makes sense, because I don't want to. Because I wrote all this code specifically to when it has a job, it'll do its job. So I'm just going to give it a job. I'm also going to check, because I can't seem to. I don't know of a way. Okay, I'm just gonna add it. Oh wait. I already checked that. So as long as there's no thread shenanigans, it should be fine. Entity.assign from copy. And then I would give it job queue dot pop dot job, right? Expression must have a class type. Oh, yeah. Wait, what? I don't understand. What does pop do? Okay, so that did not do what I thought it would do. Oh, job equals job queue dot. Is it front? Right? Expression must have a pointer type. Oh, okay, yeah. So I just don't know really what's in there. Still complaining? Okay, no. So yeah. I'll just leave it like this, because that's nicer. And then I will job queue.pop. That's weird. Most implementations of queue will like, yeah, I don't know why it's pulling me this now. Most implementations will return a reference to the internal value. Okay. That's interesting. Oh, yeah. Oh well. One potential issue that I could see is that popping destroys the value. I'm assigning it the value by reference, or not by reference, by it should copy the data itself. It's not just assigning a reference, because I'm not specifying that, but it would be good to know regardless. But yeah. Alright, okay. I mean, this should do it. Don't think I need that anymore. That should, in theory, do it. Just need to change some things. Oh, also, I guess. One thing I want to do is I need to give it, because right now I'm not really specifying the speed anywhere. I mean, well, I do specify velocity here. I do have a speed. Where did I create the speed? Which is 0.2. Huh. It should stay the same. I mean, over time it could decay. And it probably will decay over time in some way, either getting faster or slower. But whatever. Let's just see if this works. Systems.update. That was a job system. Oh yeah, also DT. I don't care about DT, to be honest, because I'm not scaling it, because the movement system does the actual movement. I just care where it is currently, and there's no real reason to factor time into that to determine direction. Well, before I do that though, I'm just going to do void add job. Or add target. Let's do that more explicit, because, and then geomvec3 target. Might actually want to create another constructor, glmvec3 and target, and then target. Right? Yeah. So it'll just make things easier. Job added event, and then that just takes in a job, right? Yeah, which will take in the target. I'm also going to make this explicit. I'll make both of them because I don't want it inferring. I want it to be explicit. There we go. So this stuff is a mess, but that's fine. Is is just been pressed. Right. think I may have figured out how to fix this bit, but I'll look into that later. So then that would be world dot add target, and then vec3, it will be, I don't like it being vec3. Makes the math simpler though, because if I can change it later. I do see a potential issue with targets on different Z layers, and then the entity moving towards them. Also, because I don't really want them moving across C layers, right? Or do I? I mean, theoretically that would be useful. Oh well, I'll leave it. Most things are on 0 right now. If it becomes an issue, I'll figure it out. So I'm just gonna do cur x, cur y, and then 0.0f. And that is all I need to do. GLM must be a constant and an L value. Oh yeah, that is true, because I'm not. Yeah, because I'm doing a reference. That should be fine. Right? Yeah. Should be fine, I hope. Yeah, I need to rethink that, because that doesn't really do what I'm saying it's doing. Deselecting essentially just says the selection is stopped. But that's not what it's actually doing. But yeah, whatever. I'll fix that later. Probably in like when I start cleaning up all of this. I mean, I should probably put all this either in its own method or something. I don't know. But yeah. Alrighty, so in theory, also, count a visual representation of the. I'll do that later. Currently, I just want the entities to move to a point. I mean, I was thinking of adding like a new entity whenever I click somewhere, and it does not like me one bit. Why does it not like? Binary operator. I should realize that. Okay, there we go. Oh, nope. Speed is length t. What does that even mean? Is length doing what I think it's doing? Return the count of components with the vector. Oh, that's not what I was thinking he was doing at all. That's okay. That's kind of dumb. Yeah. Okay. How do I get the vector's length? Its magnitude. Okay. Let's check the interwebs. GLM 3. Okay, that's kind of weird. That is kind of weird. So apparently, like, I guess it makes sense. So speed is okay. That's really annoying that they have that though. That so essentially, length. I mean, it's named the same thing. It's named the exact same thing. Because, like, and since it's technically comparing, it's okay with comparing an int to a float, even though they're different types. Yeah, that's how you do it properly. Which is kind of annoying that they use length instead of size, because size makes more sense. Still complaining, but yeah. I mean, now it's a float, so it should be fine. Okay, now it's, what is it complaining about now? Since EX subscribe or receive const and error cannot convert void to void. Am I doing the receiver wrong? So I'm doing receiver job system. No, I mean, that's correct. Oh, it's const. It's const. That makes sense. It's a good thing receive isn't a const method. Like if I had a const on the end of it, I couldn't do this. I mean, assuming the compiler is smart enough to realize that's what I'm trying to do, but probably is. I can't tell if it's doing anything. Okay. Looks like that's working. Sort of. It's not going in the right direction, but means can I flip those? Okay, so that one responded to it. It's not doing it. It's still not doing it right. That's kind of annoying. Times speed. That should be fine. I'm also going to add just so I can see it better. Where is the renderer? Here it is. I'm actually going to make this. I'll make it red if it has a job. 0f, 0.0f, 0.0f. And then if it has a job, this will be g equals 1, color dot b equals 1.0f, and s as component do job. Oh, yes. Shouldn't be an else if, now that I think about it. Should just be an if. So color.r equals 1.0. What's it complaining about? Oh, it's vec3. Yes. Too many values. Now we try to do this again. And it doesn't like me. Why doesn't it like me? Job was not declared in the scope. Which that makes sense. So I'm just going to move the entity render system down to the bottom here. I could forward declare it, but I don't want to. Okay. Okay, so that one has a job, but it's going the wrong direction. It's just kind of continuing in its current direction. Now that one has a job. It always goes down this way, which is weird. So I'm going to, do I have the, I'm going to do some stuff, GTX slash, is it string cast or something? I don't know. I forget what it's called. And then on the job added or job received, I'm going to do event.job.target. No. I'm going to do TLM2 string. Do I need that? I'm just gonna, yeah, event.job.target std endl. I'm just gonna see where I'm pointing it at because it seems like it's always going to the bottom corner, bottom left hand corner specifically, which is not what I wanted to do. Yeah, okay. Oh. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know why it does the I don't know why it does the bottom left corner, but that does make things simpler. It does mean I should probably be using a camera for this. That probably would have made my life a lot easier, but that's not what I'm doing. So I'm surprised it doesn't go up in that case. Why does it always go down? Seems really weird to go up. Velocity is probably negative. I should absolute value the... No, length should always be positive. Because it's... Because it multiplies by itself and does the square root, so... Okay, yeah, just do mouse. Where's the mouse button? Here it is. Oof. Let's steal this. So it would be divided by 80 times 2 minus 1. Not 80. Divided by 800. Times 2 minus 1. And this would be the other way around, apparently. Would be 1 minus this divided by 600.0f times 2. Ultimately, I should really just make a camera. That would make a lot of things easier. That would make a lot of things easier. Also mean I could move things around simpler. But for some reason I don't want to use a camera. That's better. So it's moving in the opposite direction, as I thought. But at least it's moving in different directions, which I can work with. Suggests that the values are reversed. Where is it? Where is direction? 12 minus target. Yeah, because this should always be positive. And the direction should define, well, the direction. So there we go. Awesome. Though it does have the problem where it always is the first entity, which makes sense. Or the first entity without a job, because this one also has a job, but it can't get there. Which I will fix post haste. I don't want to duplicate this value, but I didn't think this through all the best. So what I'm gonna do is they're all gonna have a random position. I'm gonna assign a random velocity, but I'm not actually going to give it a speed or anything. I'm gonna let their jobs decide the speed. And then just pass it. Just give it an empty vector essentially. And then which does ultimately simplify this, because then speed can just be 0.2f. Always. So yeah. Yeah, so they're all static. When I click somewhere, it'll go to that place. Awesome. But it's always the same guy. I kind of want to spread the love a bit. I mean, that kind of makes sense. If they don't have a job, honestly, should probably be the closest guy to the job. Or yeah, I mean, that works. That works. Yeah, I mean, they're doing the thing I asked them to. So, I mean, I guess next thing would be just to have it so if all of them I guess there's a couple of things I could tackle next. If they all are selected, they'll all receive the same job. Which shouldn't be too difficult to do. I would just loop through all the entities that are selected and just give them the same job. I do worry. I mean, if I sign from a copy, it shouldn't matter because it'll just copy the value. And so even if entity X destroys the job object internally, it shouldn't matter because it should be a copy rather than the original. So there shouldn't be a seg fault as long as I do it by copy rather than by, well, if I assign it directly, then yeah, then even then it'll just create a new one. So yeah. But well, I guess the question is, let's see, how long have I been going on? Does it say? I've been going about an hour, so I think I'm actually going to call it for here. This is working. This is working just fine. One thing I want to do first, though, I kind of want to rotate them depending on their direction, or their velocity, rather. I kind of should probably rethink how I'm doing velocity, because direction makes a little more sense, and I can always derive velocity from, say, like an angle and a speed. And those are probably actually more valuable. But that does mean, it does make a couple things more complicated. It does mean that this would be fine because it would just be assigning the speed and the direction to, well, direction would probably stay the same, but speed would be 0 at that point. It'd be zeroed out, but this part is a little more tricky. I would have to get the angle value for this direction, which actually isn't too difficult. GLM might have something. Let's check the GLM effect 2, or just, let's see, can I direction dot, I don't know. I mean, it's fairly simple to get it. I mean, first you just check if the direction is 0. If direction is 0, or the direction, if all the components are 0. If they're 0, you just don't change the angle at all. If it is, if the values aren't 0, you just have to do like I think it's like the arc cosine. There's just some trick you do. Anyway, so that's not currently, I mean, the video is going on for pretty long, so I'm probably gonna cut it here. I mean, it's working. The entities are taking jobs from the queue. I mean, they're biasing the first entity. I should probably give it a cooldown or something to let them recover. Or, I mean, obviously I'm going to clean this up because to make it work better. But next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add more jobs. I'm going to add like the ability to spawn items on the ground essentially, and add the ability to collect said items. So essentially, let's like make a little to-do list just so I remember. I'll actually put that in job. So there should be a collect item job, and I'm also going to do maybe I'll have a deposit item. This will only happen if the entity has an item in its possession. So I can essentially say, oh, I need somebody to go pick this up. Or yeah. So I can just, also I'm going to need an item component. Or yeah, just say that it is an item. And yeah, I mean that should be enough, because then I can get my little guys to do anything. Oh, and also probably the first thing I'll do is you can't really do that with. I'm also gonna create a go-to job that's just going to a position. But yeah. But yeah, so if I just want a bunch of guys to go to a position or to go to an area with a bunch of items potentially, or like an item spawner maybe. / item cache. Or basically it just spawns items, or it creates new, yeah, it spawns items or it creates new ones. Yeah, the item cache would have a limited storage, so whatever. But that's essentially what I'm going to do next. Along with, I'm just going to do the selection bit now because it's simple. It's a lot simpler. It's actually a little more complicated now to think about it. What I have to do essentially is, what would happen here? I would have to essentially move. Well, it's mostly I'm just doing a lot of looping because I don't like this particular bit. But yeah, I'll just do it. For entity x entity es dot entities with components position, and then velocity. I'm also going to add tx component handle. I don't know why I didn't just copy paste this. Is it selection? Pretty sure it's selection. Also going to add selection. And then I'm just going to basically, if job queue dot size is less than or equal to 0, I'll break. Or if okay. Essentially what the issue here is I need to loop through all the entities with us in the selection, and then I need to assign them the same job, which is okay. So what would so basically I just need to loop through the jobs. Is that it? I don't really like that though. It's so annoying. Okay. Because like the selection should be the priority, right? Well, actually, now that I think about it, actually, it's a little simpler. If I do, let's make it specified. If selection job taken equals false. Oh, it's complaining. Okay, it's just slow. So if the job queue is if the job queue is empty, it shouldn't be empty. Because here's the deal. I'm not gonna pop it. I'm just going to get because when I get to here, there shouldn't be any, if there's no jobs in the queue, this should never be false. So essentially, all I need to do is just entity dot, well, I also need to do if entity dot has component job, then I need to continue. And then if not, entity dot auto job equals job queue dot front job, and then I don't pop it, assign from copy, and then I also set job taken, which I didn't spell right. And I didn't spell this right either. So, and then you can probably guess what I'm going to do next. If job taken, job queue dot pop. So it'll loop through any entities with a selection. It makes it a little more complicated if I want to add multi-select, but I don't currently, so that's fine. But yeah. So essentially, if this did the thing that I think it did, should be, yep, there we go. That's problematic. Oh, actually, no, I just do that. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's working properly, and just so I don't forget about it, I'm gonna get rid of this. Which is good. Yeah, that went fairly smoothly. Only had to do a bit of research. So yeah, next thing I'm going to rework this so that there is, I mean, think in general most things will have a target. But yeah. Anyway, so that's all for today. Next episode, I'm going to implement the GoToJob, add items to the little game, and then also I'm going to change how velocity works. And I think I might add a camera. Do I need a camera? I'll add a camera when I do. I'm probably gonna just do this. This will be the last thing. Well, it won't be the last thing. I'll do one more thing after this, I think. And then I'll just do a polish pass. I mean, by polish, I mean just cleaning some stuff up, making the repo nice to look at. And I'll just publish it to GitHub. One of the things I'll do is clean up how the input is working, because I just don't like it. I don't like how it's doing what it's doing. Otherwise, I'm fairly happy with the progress we made today. Obviously, could be better. But yeah. Oh, but yeah. So that should be it. Thanks for putting up both of my nonsense, and have a nice day.